The Appalachian ridgewalker, sometimes called the Smoky Mountain Sasquatch. Deep in the mist-shrouded Smoky Mountains, a hidden predator stalks the trails and forests, its presence felt in the stories whispered by campfires and the warnings passed between generations. They call it the ridgewalker, a creature of nightmare, its existence blurred between myth and reality. Few claim to have seen it, and fewer still live to tell the tale, but its legend persists, rooted in strange disappearances and eerie sightings that span centuries. The first documented account dates back to 1934, when Everett Harland, a seasoned hiker known for his daring treks, vanished during a solo expedition near Clingman's Dome. His last journal entry, found days later in a tattered notebook, was unsettling. "The trees are alive tonight. Something follows me, its breath heavy, too steady for a beast." His body was never found, only his boot lodged in a tangle of thorny vines and strange claw-like markings gouged into a nearby tree. Locals mounted a search party, scouring the woods for days. It wasn't just Everett's disappearance that unnerved them, but the signs left behind. Enormous tracks, too large for a man yet walking upright like one. The prints were punctuated by claw marks, as if the creature was both beast and human. Deep in the woods, searchers discovered crude carvings etched into the bark of trees, symbols that seemed ancient, deliberate, and eerily consistent. Some dismissed the findings as a hoax, but others muttered prayers to ward off the evil they believed lingered in those woods. Over the decades, the ridgewalker became a legend, its details sharpened by fear and folklore. Stories of its appearance began to align, told by those who swore they'd caught glimpses of it during dusky hikes or late-night hunts. The creature was described as humanoid, unnervingly tall, with limbs that seemed stretched beyond natural proportions. Its arms hung low, clawed hands brushing against the undergrowth as it moved with an unnatural grace. Its face, partially obscured by matted fur, bore human-like features twisted into something grotesque. A malformed nose, high cheekbones, and a mouth too wide for its face, lined with unnaturally sharp teeth. But most haunting of all were its eyes, glowing amber orbs that radiated intelligence, almost judgment. Modern sightings brought a new dimension to the terror. Sarah Chambers, a wildlife photographer, embarked on a journey into the Smokies with a clear mission: capture the ridgewalker on film. Skeptical of the creature's existence, she believed the tales were the product of overactive imaginations and a dose of Appalachian superstition. Armed with high-tech equipment and her instincts, Sarah set up camp deep within the forest, far from the main trails. For 3 days, she encountered nothing unusual, just the familiar rustlings of deer and raccoons, the chatter of birds. But on the 4th night, the woods fell silent. The usual cacophony of nocturnal life ceased abruptly, leaving an oppressive stillness. Then came the first sound, a deliberate crunch of leaves, slow and measured, as if something was pacing just beyond the firelight. Sarah's breath caught in her throat. She grabbed her camera, aiming it toward the darkness. At first, she saw nothing, only the faint outlines of trees shrouded in shadow. But then it emerged. The ridgewalker stepped into view, its towering frame illuminated by the dying embers of her fire. It moved upright, its gait almost human yet distorted, as though its body didn't fully belong to this world. Its fur was dark and matted, blending with the shadows, but its eyes glowed with a terrifying clarity. It cocked its head, studying her with an unsettling curiosity. For a moment, Sarah froze, unable to comprehend what she was seeing. Then, instinct took over, and she pressed the shutter repeatedly, capturing shot after shot. The creature didn't flinch. Instead, it let out a guttural sound, a mixture of a growl and something disturbingly close to speech. That was when it charged. Sarah's survival is a tale of sheer luck and raw instinct. She turned and ran, her heart pounding as the creature pursued her through the dense forest. Its guttural sounds echoed behind her, growing louder as it closed the distance. In her panic, Sarah stumbled into a ravine, tumbling into a tangle of rocks and brush. She lay there, breathless and bruised, waiting for the ridge-walker to descend upon her. But the creature stopped at the edge of the ravine, peering down with its glowing eyes. It made no move to follow. Instead, it tilted its head again, as though assessing her before vanishing back into the woods. When a search party found Sarah days later, she was delirious with dehydration and shock, clutching her camera like a lifeline. But the photos she had taken were corrupted, blurry, fragmented images that offered no concrete proof, only haunting glimpses of the towering figure. Since Sarah's encounter, the Ridgewalker has remained a phantom of the Smokies, its presence marked by strange occurrences. Hikers report finding clawed markings on trees, belongings scattered in ways that suggest they were deliberately tampered with. At night, campers speak of amber lights flickering in the distance or hearing low, guttural murmurs that sound almost like words, spoken in a language just out of reach. More disappearances have occurred, each adding to the Ridgewalker's grim reputation. Scientists and skeptics dismiss the stories as folklore, attributing the sightings to misidentified wildlife or the human tendency to invent monsters to explain the unexplainable. But locals are adamant. The Ridgewalker is no mere myth. Its existence is embedded in their history, its legend a warning passed down with grave sincerity. What makes the Ridgewalker truly terrifying is the intelligence attributed to it. Unlike most cryptids, it seems to think, to deliberate. Witnesses describe it as watching them, not with the vacant gaze of a predator, but with something closer to understanding. Some believe it was once human, cursed by the forest for crimes lost to time. Others speculate it is an ancient guardian, a relic of the earth itself, driven to protect its domain from human encroachment. Then there are the carvings, those strange symbols etched into trees wherever the Ridgewalker is sighted. Linguists and historians who have studied photos of the carvings find them perplexing, resembling no known language but seeming purposeful, almost ritualistic. Some theorize they are territorial markers, while others believe they are warnings. For those who live in the shadow of the Smokies, the Ridgewalker is both a source of fear and fascination. Children grow up hearing the stories, learning to respect the woods and never stray too far from the trails. Hunters share tales of seeing amber eyes watching them from the darkness, of feeling an unshakable presence that leaves them abandoning their pursuits. And every few years another disappearance adds a fresh chapter to the legend. The Ridgewalker isn't just a creature, it's a mystery, an embodiment of the Smoky Mountains' wild and untamed spirit. It is a reminder of humanity's fragility in the face of nature's ancient power, of how little we truly know about the world we inhabit. And for those brave, or foolish, enough to venture deep into its domain, it is a question that lingers with every crack of a branch or rustle of leaves. Is it watching?